Welcome aboard Sea Venture. Join us and our crew as we slowly explore Mexico, the people, the culture, the anchorages, the cruising grounds, and everything it has to offer.
And a 12-mile beach are mangrove forests, Santa Maria Lagoon on the north, Howard's Lagoon on the south.
Rosie and Barkley planning our next several days of voyaging together. Barkley always wants to help. Got to be in the middle of everything. It's just a great boating companion. Rosie, and Barkley. Well, we've woken up to another blustery morning here in Bahia Tortuga. So we'll see if we can get the tender down or not. Who knows? It doesn't matter. Tomorrow we'll be leaving Bahia Tortuga, Turtle Bay, to head south. And maybe Rosie will go over those plans later today. I'm making some fresh biscuits, just playing around in the galley this morning. We'll cook them in the Instapot versus the oven.
Air fryer.
I'm sorry, air fryer. Air fryer instead of the oven because it works great. The generator happens to be running right now anyway. And as Rosie mentioned when she was talking on the dryer yesterday, she was thinking, and many of you understood, but she never said, the load on the generator and having adequate load on the generator, or that we can have increased load with no impact. So thank you for those who commented that the thought was right, the words were wrong. No big deal. So we can run virtually everything on Sea Venture, including 240 volt appliances on just the lithium batteries without a problem. But while the generator's running, charging the batteries, the clothes dryer is going. To me, this is like free power. There's no reason to consume propane or anything like that. Just let the generator produce all the power we need. It's going to burn pretty much the same fuel regardless at our load levels. So that's it. Let's make some biscuits and see what we can make up for breakfast here on Sea Venture. All right, biscuits are ready to go in the air fryer. 8 minutes a tray. All right, the first tray of biscuits are in the air fryer. We've learned from experience when baking not to put 2 trays in, do them one at a time, and they bake a lot more evenly. While that's going on, I've got some bacon started on the stove. So we're gonna see if we can make some breakfast sandwiches this morning. I'm just dinging around because there's nothing else to do. Biscuits and bacon are done, so now we're gonna try to cook up some eggs and make breakfast sandwiches.
Jim's been working, and here we are. Bacon, egg, cheese, biscuit sandwiches. There you go. Looks good. Let's eat.
All right. So Ron asked, how much fuel did we burn on our 48-hour passage? And Rosie,
from Ensenada
to here. So several people asked this.
Yes,
so how long was it? 48?
48.2 hours.
For 2 hours. We burned 3.15 gallons per hour, both engines combined. So that comes out to 151.8 gallons doing the math. That's just doing math. Our 4 fuel tanks, we have a dipstick. And so actually after we got here, I dipsticked them and physically measured the fuel and came up with 155 gallon usage.
So right, that was
spot on, actually.
Right on, yeah.
So basically, 152 gallons, leaving us 1,500 more to go, I think. Right. GW asked,
are we going all the way up into the Gulf of California or the Sea of Cortez?
Absolutely.
And the answer is, oh yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, our next time that we have marina reservations is way up in the Sea of Cortez starting June 1st. So
yeah,
we'll be there
excited.
Sooner rather than later. Marco asked, you two said Prost at the end of a video, like cheers Prost.
Yes.
And Marco's not the first person actually to ask that. So Rosie is short for Rosalinda. Rosie is from
My
Germany.
Family's
from Germany.
And so we grew up with Prost.
We grew up with Prost.
We just indoctrinated Jim into the
crowd.
Yes,
and our kids too do the same thing. So,
but now that we're in Mexico, it's time to learn salute.
Salute. So we should say I was going to say we should say Prost. We should say cheers or Prost in Spanish. Now, moving
Yes.
forward, we'll do our best.
Yes, trying to remember.
This wraps up this Q&A session. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment on YouTube or you can email and we'll try to keep answering them. So now, back to the regular scheduled programming. Besides the weather station here, we can repeat all that information on the computer, and it also records it all over time. So we can see here sitting at Anchorage, the high wind so far today, 29.6 knots here, 10-minute average, 20 knots. So let's walk outside and take a look. Maybe you can see and hear what it sounds like. Someone commented my chain was hanging over the bridle where it could chafe versus hanging down in between. It should really be hanging down in between, but when I launched, when I put it out, that's where it ended up, and I haven't intended to ever bother to flip it around one way or another. But anyway, that's the wind out here today. So an afternoon update. At the moment, it's like the wind has settled down for a little bit. It's about, well, that just shows 10 knots. 13.4 is a 10-minute average. But apparently it's supposed to pick up a little bit. There's a couple sailboats over here. We were listening on the radio. They're chatting with each other and both planning now to deploy second anchors in anticipation of a little more wind coming. So what we did, you can see we moved a little bit from our line where we were. Rosie and I went on ahead and went up and put out 50 more feet of chain. So now we have about 165 or so feet of chain.
We've been checking out all the anchorages south of us to see where our possibilities were to go. We've got the boat ready to go and we're excited to get going. And our plan is to do some day hops. And so we're here at Bahia Tortuga and we're planning to do one day hop to Ascension and then another day hop and then another day hop and then a fourth one that gets us close to Mag Bay. And then we'll probably head into Mag Bay. So our plan is to leave tomorrow morning, but we've done another look at the weather and we're just learning more about the weather. It looks like there's a lot of gusts coming in, gusts upward of 40 and 50 knots for tomorrow. So we may decide to stay put one more day and kind of bear it out here in this anchorage and then head south on Friday. We made ourselves some orange chicken and rice along with some green beans. So we have a lovely dinner tonight. Can't wait to get started.
The margaritas are a little bit weak because, well, we drank them while we were cooking.